Welcome back to another video. I'm Sarah, and this is Solitary and Unsustained. Today, the video is going to be me just explaining to you what I've read in the past month or two. Hasn't been a lot, but it's been like 8 books or something. So, it's gonna be relaxed. It's gonna be relaxed. It's gonna be chill. I've got my coffee, nice iced coffee. Delicious. So, go grab a coffee, sit back, and enjoy. Okay, starting back in October. The first book I finished in October was Carrie by Stephen King. I gave this 2 stars. So, my thoughts on Carrie. I don't know how I feel about Stephen King's writing style, to be honest. It's just like, I just don't enjoy it. I didn't really like any of the characters. I know it's supposed to be horror, so it's like, it's supposed to make you uncomfortable. But like, I almost think Carrie as a character should have had more likable qualities in the beginning, so that we see like more character development. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, she becomes this monster, right? Because like, her town and her mom made her into this monster.
What if I'm the monster?
In combination with her abilities, it made her into this monster. But I didn't feel as much sympathy for her in the beginning as I wanted to. I think that's my biggest thing. Yeah, just some of his language is weird. His writing style just doesn't gel with me. The next book I read was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's a really short story, actually. It's only like this part of it. And I gave this 2 stars as well. This is a really good reading month for me. And all I thought of it was really kind of boring. Like, the whole point is to get to that twist, right? Of like, who is Dr. Jekyll? Who is Dr. Jekyll and who is Mr. Hyde? But in pop culture, we know the twist. So it just felt like a slog. Like, it was just too much to get through. And not like too much to get through. But it was just like, just nothing. There was nothing there. And then, what else? The last book I read in October was Dune by Frank Herbert. And I actually really like Dune. I actually enjoy the writing style. Some people really don't like it because there are a lot of kind of strange new terms that Frank comes up with. And you're kind of just thrown into this world, almost expected to know what everything means right away. And truthfully, I wish I had read this like at least once before having watched the movie to kind of understand that. But having gone into this watching the movie already, I kind of had an understanding of what this world was. For anyone who's looking to read this, I will say it might help to do a little bit of research beforehand, just because it can be a little jarring, like, going into this book. I don't even know how to describe the writing style, but I did enjoy it. Not a lot really happens in this book. It's a series. I'm assuming a lot more is going to happen further on in the series. I'm not sure if I will continue, but not a lot happens. I gave this 4 stars. I feel like I probably had more to say while I was reading it. I'll probably reread it at some point. I went through this pretty quickly, personally. Some of the reasons why I did like this book is I like books that kind of talk about dreams, feel sort of like ethereal. There's a lot of that in this. It kind of feels like that. I will say I do really enjoy books that are sort of like that. Come on, guys. Subscribe to my channel. You're getting some incredible book reviews here. So detailed, so thorough. Anyway. The next book I read was a gem, truly. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. It was good, guys. It was really good. I had been reading this for a while, and I had read like the first 100 pages last year at some point, like around last Christmas, and then just stopped. I just stopped completely. And the last like couple months, I went back to it and read it really quickly. It was really good. I also watched the movie, and I have a lot of strong thoughts about the movie. I gave this 5 stars, by the way. One of the things I really love about Tolstoy's writing is he really knows how to, like, get into the mind of each character and make you as a reader feel like you're really kind of understanding their motives, just really kind of making them well-rounded characters, even if they're kind of posed as maybe a villain or like just someone that's creating a lot of chaos or issues in their life. Like, you can really kind of empathize with them really well. Like, I underlined a lot of good parts of this. Okay, here we go. On page 7, honestly, so to really start to kind of feel involved with this book, you have to get past, like, page 500. Like, there are things happening up through that point, but I didn't feel like I really kind of was understanding the characters and, like, feeling involved in their plot lines until up to, like, past page 500. And, like, when the writing really started to get really, like, oh, this is some good stuff. This is some good stuff. So, here's one line. But to be a friend, one must enter into the state of the friend's soul. He has a lot of really good quotes about friendship. I don't take any view, I always loved you, and if one loves the whole person as he or she is, and not as one might wish them to be. What a line! I tell ya. Oh, I guess I'm so stupid. I have, like, I dog-eared where I underlined stuff, but for some reason I'm not using that. I really enjoyed Levin's kind of character development, as he's, like, trying to seek, like, the meaning of his life. He, like, delves into his soul and everything about, like, what is his purpose, and I love that. I thought it was really good. You know, it just had a really good dynamic. Anna's specific character and plotline is really interesting. It's definitely, like, a tale of woe, you know, like, kind of like a tale of warning as to, like, what not to do with your life. You know, someone that was just completely, like, thrown away to their passions. Oh, Steve is really funny because there's a line where he talks about, like, at the end of, like, getting drunk at a party, he had a weakness at the end of a dinner party to set the telegraph going. Like a drunk text. That part was so funny to me. Anyway, my thoughts about the movie. The movie with Keira Knightley. It was good in its, like, own thing, but, like, it totally focused on Anna primarily, which I know you would think with the title that it would be mainly about Anna. But it, like, completely left out so much about Levin and Kitty and, like, their, like, character development. Each of them. Like, Kitty was, like, so naive and, like, young in the beginning of the book. So Kitty goes on this, like, own journey of, like, self-exploration. You know, has that character development. Levin, you know, kind of figures out the meaning of his life or is trying to figure out the meaning of his life. No spoilers here. And it's just so, like, you know, anyway, I enjoyed it. The only good thing for me, to be honest, about the movie adaptation is Aaron Taylor Johnson. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Cue the tape. Cue the tape. Aaron Taylor Johnson. But anyway, that was Anna Karenina. Then at the beginning of November, I was continuing the Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. I got this huge collection. And I finished the Narnia series! I had 3 books that I read. First one was The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I give 3 stars. Silver Chair, 4 stars. And then The Last Battle, which was 3 stars. So I'll start with The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So the kids in this story are Eustace Shrub, Lucy, and Edmund. And this is our first time meeting Eustace. Eustace's little character development was actually really endearing. There's a lot of kind of little kind of tangents in which they go on, like, little adventures. And I was listening to the audiobooks for most of these, and they didn't feel super cohesive, even though they were kind of enjoyable little adventures. So I would say it's a pretty good one. I still think by far, like, my favorite book of the Narnia series would be The Magician's Nephew, because I read that actually when I was younger. It has this really cool, mysterious vibe. Like, for anybody that's read The Magician's Nephew, you know, when the 2 kids, so I can't remember their names right now, when they, like, are traveling, they go into that one world that's got, like, all the pools and stuff, and it's, like, so, like, spooky and, like, just mysterious. That part's really cool. And then Jadis, I think is her name, the White Witch, is in The Magician's Nephew. The story of how they found her is like really kind of spooky and cool. Like I loved The Magician's Nephew. I thought it was so cool. And then Silver Chair. Silver Chair was good actually, and this Silver Chair had kind of reminded me actually of The Magician's Nephew at times, in how it had like a more eerie atmosphere. They go into this whole other like underground world. This time it's Eustace and this girl named Polly, I believe. Yeah, that one's really cool. There's like a witch in this one as well. And then The Last Battle. If anyone has not read The Last Battle, spoiler, okay? Skip forward to this timestamp. C.S. Lewis kills everybody. He kills everybody. Literally in the last few pages, it's like, Aslan's like, yeah, in case you didn't know, you all died in like a train crash. And then also, it's like, this one's super dark. I know there's a lot of like biblical kind of allegory going on in it. Kind of lost my attention at times, truthfully. It's supposed to be hopeful, technically, Aslan's country. Yeah. And then I read Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. I actually got this at one of the little like lending libraries, and of course I dropped off a book. I talk about this in a vlog that I like posted. It was interesting. Like there's nothing super like decorative about his writing style. Like, it's an interesting concept, but my one critique with this, which I mentioned, is that it kind of felt like he just had this like kind of interesting idea, but then didn't really go anywhere super exciting with it. It almost didn't fill up this already short book. Like, it's kind of funny. It's got kind of cute little moments about parenthood and like the process of raising children. Yeah. Kind of like its name, honestly. There's not much to see here, but it's here. So there was that. I also listened to the audiobook of Their Eyes Were Watching God, which I gave 3 stars. My feelings, I feel like Their Eyes Were Watching God, it's pretty slow at times. Like, it picks up towards the end, so it got a little more interesting. I personally had a hard time kind of connecting to the characters, but it was definitely a fascinating look into a very different time period and like group of characters and like situations. But yeah, to be honest, I didn't have a lot of thoughts about the book. I can't say it's a bad book, and like he writes the characters with like an accent, so it was kind of hard when I first started like physically reading this book, so it was good to transition to an audiobook. But I would almost recommend listening to an audiobook and physically reading it at the same time. I think it would have sunk in a little bit better for me. I might have had different thoughts. Maybe at some point I'll reread it, but because I know a lot of people really like this book. Yeah, and I think that is like basically everything that I have read in the past couple months. Hasn't been a super huge like reading month and a half, but I think Dune and Anna Karenina were the best. And The Silver Chair was pretty good. Yeah. Comment down below. What should I read this month? Or the next couple months? I don't have much else to say right now. So if you like the video, like, comment. I actually really would like people to comment. Please comment, because I want conversations. If you read any of the books that I talked about, let me know. If you have recommendations for books that I would like based off of what I've already liked, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.